Hey everybody, it's Josie and Cheyenne. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. Today we're going to be bringing you a couple of recipes for seasoning salts that you can use on anything that calls for it, or anything that you want to try seasoning any kind of chickens or beefs, French fries, vegetables. These are seasoning mixes like you would get in the grocery store, but cheaper. You know what's in them. They don't have any kind of filler. And they're also where you can make them. This is just like a basic recipe, and you can add or take away depending on what you like. This first recipe that we're going to be making actually has turmeric in it. If you don't like turmeric, or you have issues with turmeric or any of the other ingredients, by all means make the recipes your own. You know what your family likes to eat. You can bump up the spice level. These recipes that we're bringing you today, other than the black pepper, don't really have anything in them that is going to be spicy at all. But you could make any, add any chili pepper, chili powders, anything that you would be interested in changing the flavor profile. It's all up to you. What we're trying to do, we're doing an unofficial pantry challenge. All the other YouTube channels are doing this, and we're just going along for the ride, catching on to their coattails, and not doing any kind of official thing other than saying that we're up for the challenge, to use what's in our pantry, to use what's in our freezers, and see if we can come up with some interesting recipes to get us through a specific amount of time. Now we are allowing ourselves to get milk, stuff that little Howie and Rowdy might need, but we as the adults are going to do our best just to eat from our pantry and freezer. And everybody needs seasoning and spices to help things along just a little bit. So we're going to get started, and the very first thing that I'm going to be putting together in this bowl today is a seasoned salt. And like I said, everything is interchangeable. You can take out, add to, but I'm going to get started with about half of a cup of salt. Now you can use sea salt, you can use Himalayan salt. My family, when I use Himalayan salt, I have one in particular, Blade, that says that it's gritty and he doesn't like it. Pardon me, so I'm just using iodized salt. And the next thing I need is 1 tablespoon of sugar, and then Cheyenne will have to put the sugar in there for me. The next is 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, any brand that you want to use. Since this is a pantry challenge, we are using up what we've got in the pantry, and we will be ordering in bulk spices a little bit later on. And so we're just using whatever brands that we have, and these are actually store brands. Hold on, baby, hold on. The next ingredient that I'm going to be putting in is 1 tablespoon of paprika, and I would think that you could use the sweet paprika, you could use smoked paprika, you could use Hungarian paprika. It's up to you. 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and I have shared this with you guys before. It's like barrettes and socks and bobby pins in my house. Something happened to my teaspoon measuring spoon on this set, and I have yet to replace it, so I need 2 teaspoons, and so I'm going to put 4 in here because I'm using a half teaspoon measure, so don't let that throw you. You need 2 teaspoons of onion powder. You need a half of a teaspoon of tumeric, and you need a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Now I don't have any fancy black pepper in my house. I just have store brand black pepper. I think I do have some peppercorns, but I'm just using ground black pepper. And so the next part is just getting this all mixed together. Hopefully you can see that. Blade's running the camera for us, so I can't really tell what you can see and what you can't see. But yeah, this is a real pretty seasoned salt that would take the place of the store-bought seasoned salts. I would assume that if you had some kind of lemon seasoning, would probably be really good in here. But that's all there is to it. You just mix it together, and then you pour it up into a container with a lid, and then just be prepared to use it. I'm gonna either put it in a pint-sized jar, or obviously there's more in this than what'll fit in this little jar, but this is a little spice jar that I picked up at one of the dollar stores and paid $1 for it. We may actually be able to put the next seasoning in this one. This one's probably going to require the pint jar. So that is seasoned salt. Now the other thing that we're going to make is a house seasoning, which is 3 ingredients. You want to keep a house seasoning, I think, simple, because it's something that you're going to go to grab it probably for most things. When you're making eggs, or you're making potatoes or something, that you're just going to sprinkle a little bit of something on. You don't really you're not really looking for extra pizzazz. You're just looking for a quick seasoning. Now Cheyenne's going to put this together, and are you going to talk? She's not going to talk, so I will have to talk for her. And so she's going to be making this house seasoning, and she's going to need 1/4 cup of garlic powder. She's going to eyeball it. That's pretty good right there. Now this is going to make a smaller amount, but you can double, triple, quadruple these recipes, both of them, really easily, and make the amount that you want to have. You can put them together and give them for gifts. She's going to need 1 cup of salt. So she's got 1/4 cup of garlic powder in here, 1 cup of salt, and then she needs 1/4 cup of black pepper. Now that one might really make you sneeze. And then she'll just stir that out just like the last one.
I knew it was going to do it. I was trying not to.
And looking in her little bowl there, I would say that this little jar is not going to hold it either. And so I probably have to get another pint jar out for that, or get several of these and just make sure that I label. Now, that'll be something else that I want to stress to everybody, is make sure that you label your items. Now I've told you that before, that I have thought, oh, I'll know what that is and not label it, and then go back and not remember exactly what it was that I had in the jar. Would you hand me that jar? For an example, when I got all of my items out today, I have a collection of these little jars that they're not old jars, they're just made to look like the old jars, and they have some of my seasonings in them. This had one of my homemade seasonings in it, and I was looking for my onion powder. I've looked everywhere, and I told Cheyenne, I said, well, here's my homemade onion powder. I'll just use it, and it does have some big flakes in it. So the more I got to looking at it, I thought, because I had made caramelized onions. In fact, in a video coming up in the future, we're probably going to be making some more onion powder and minced onion, because I'm out. And I caramelized it, and so I thought, well, that's probably it, because it's caramelized. So the more I look at it and the more I thought about it, I got some out to taste. And this is homemade onion soup mix, not homemade onion powder. So always make sure that you label your stuff, because if you're anything like me, you will forget what's in it. So back to what Cheyenne was doing, you can see that she's got the garlic powder, the salt, and the pepper all mixed up, waiting for us to use this as a house seasoning. Like I said, these both can be doubled, tripled, quadrupled, made into multi-batches, and you can add other ingredients to change the profile up. Maybe you want something besides these 3 ingredients to be your house seasoning. I hope you enjoy these 2 recipes for house seasoning and a seasoned salt that you can use on anything. Make multiple recipes. In fact, her recipe, I thought hers would fit in the smaller container. Hers actually made more than mine. Well, we hope you enjoyed these recipes today of these 2 different seasoned salts and seasonings. What we'll be doing in the future is making videos of other things that you can replace from your grocery store. Last week we made pan release, and that's one item that you can take off of your grocery list. Here's a couple more. We'll be bringing more in the future. That's kind of a direction that we're moving. I made a pledge this year. I haven't really shared it with you guys yet, but I think that if I put it out here, then perhaps I will stick to it, and that I will have some accountability. And the thing that I did, I told the kids that this year, 2023, if all possible, I will not buy any bread products from the grocery store. If I have any bread, it'll be because I made the bread or somebody else made the bread. So that means that tortillas, biscuits, cornbread, pizza crust, all of those things fall under that category. Well, that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed spending a little bit of time with us today, although Cheyenne didn't say 2 words. She's getting a little bit better. She's getting more comfortable, I think, and hopefully she'll be talking before long and getting a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. We've got some fun projects going outside. We're going to be working in the garden and building some raised beds, and we've got our poultry that we're getting ready to order in, and so we've got some work to do on the poultry housing. And so we just invite you to come along for the ride. Until next time, guys, this is Josie and Cheyenne. I love you. I really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. I hope you find these recipes beneficial for you. And if you've got a recipe you'd like us to try, we'll share it with us down in the comments. Until next time, guys, we're gone.